I'm here with, I don't even know, Richter Instruments. Who's Richter? Are you Richter?
Yeah, I'm Richter. Hi.
Mr. Richter. Stefan Richter.
Stefan Richter is my name.
That's very Sherman. Stefan Richter is very Sherman. So, this beautiful red-headed woman over there that we can't see.
My wife.
Come on, spin it, spin it, spin it, spin it. She stopped me downstairs and said, hey, do you want to have a coffee? And I was like, always. Come on, hot redhead, coffee, I'm in. Didn't know what she meant, because she meant something different. She meant we make instruments out of coffee, which is, let me ask you a scientific question. What the fuck?
Well, we are specialized in making instruments out of coffee as
That's not a sentence. We make instruments out of coffee. Yeah. Isn't something you say or that means anything.
Oh.
How?
We have good partners that press the spent coffee grounds.
Coffee grounds?
Yes, spent coffee grounds together with a bonding compound on water basis. That is.
So not resin?
Not resin, no, not at all.
Resin makes it heavy and not sound good.
It's completely eco-friendly and toxin-free. So you could eat it even if I don't recommend it. And it smells a bit of coffee because it is coffee. Yeah, so...
Coffee because it's a very dense material?
Well,
can be pressed densely?
Yeah, we can dense it up to the density of ebony.
Okay.
If we want.
Sorry, just people running in the picture. Okay, so this is what a full coffee ground body would be like.
This would be one, yes. And in this case, we made the top, the bottom, the binding, and the dots as the headstock.
Now here's a question that I never in my life thought I would ask anyone.
Yes. What
does coffee sound like?
Oh, I think sustainability really sounds good, and we prove it.
Oh wait, that's a clever fucking line. Wait a second, say this again. Sustainability sounds good.
Yes, and we proved it.
My mind's blown right now because, sustainability. Get it? Because sustain is a thing that you're looking for. And get it? In a guitar, you're looking for sustain. It's wordplay. I don't even know if he meant to do you meant to do the wordplay, right?
I successfully accidentally did it.
Sustainability sounds good. Wow, I'm impressed. Where's that in your logo?
Well, the logo is it's universal because we are not only taking coffee seriously, we also take originality seriously, like the woods we process. It's all in a radius of 300 kilometers we get our goods from.
The thing is, it should be Richter Instruments, and then sustainability sounds good. That's your line right there.
Yeah, you're right, exactly.
So that is, of course, super original. So you told me about all these woods, and the camera wasn't running. So do it all again.
Yeah, no problem. This, for example, was a handrail in our local hospital. This here is a piece of poplar from the joinery next door that we're going to throw it away and burn it. This is larch that I never knew where to put, and now I know.
It's a pretty small larch. Get it?
Episode 12B. How to recognize different types of trees from quite a long way away. Number 1, the larch. The larch.
How to recognize different kinds of trees from very far away. The larch.
And now, number 3, the larch.
If you're too young for this, please look it up. Monty Python's Flying Circus. Be cultured. Moving on.
Yeah, and this is a bit of ash that was part of the body you see behind that was also going to be thrown away, and I said, come on, let's give it a second chance. And this is how it looks like in profile.
So very much a sandwich kind of construction.
Yeah, it is. It is. And we can even top it. But for this, my beloved wife would have to go to our colleagues and get the other guitar.
Bye-bye. Come back, please.
Yes, because not only we can process such things as poplar and or press it to the density of ebony, so that we can get eco-friendly ebony fretboards that also are useful for stabilizing necks that I can make ultra thin with this construction. And we also can, well, see that a wooden
pickup ring, no plastic.
Thanks, is also good enough.
You're trying to reduce plastic. You're trying to get woods that usually you wouldn't use. But when you're saying condensing, are we talking about pressing?
Yes, pressing with heat.
Pressing with heat, and that is someone doing that for you?
My colleagues from EcoMake, together with our friends from EcoBrain that developed the idea, are processing these and exclusively having us supplied with these nice things.
So are we going to not coffee grounds but coffee beans, or are these actual coffee beans, or is it made to look like coffee beans?
Yeah, it is coffee grounds embossed in a coffee bean look-alike. Yeah.
Of course, it is coffee grounds embossed in a coffee bean look-alike as a guitar top. Now, you know how much coffee I drink. Like, how could I not play one of these guitars? It's ridiculous.
Well, and to put something just on top, these are recycled chopsticks that we put in the middle, made out of bamboo.
The neck too?
The neck too. And this is what I'm particularly proud of, because making a neck of something that is only this long was a bit of a struggle, but I made it.
Now let's get into physics here, because when I look at a Harley Benton or an Ibanez in a lower price range, I always look at how many parts are they made out of. And ideally you have a one-piece body. You might have a book match body or a two-piece body in the middle. That's a good idea if it's done right. As soon as you have scrap wood guitars with 2 or 3 or 4 parts, it can be seen as lesser quality. And the only reasons why the Korean companies or Chinese companies are doing this is because they're using smaller pieces of wood and they're using scrap wood. Now, I had this conversation with Jörg Tandler, who we just filmed with, and Jörg is a master of the guitar, and he said, a multi-piece body does not have to be a problem if it's done right. Yeah. They actually did a lot of tallies, and then his apprentice made one tally with all the scrap wood. I think it was a 14-piece tally. And he said, if it's done right, it has 0 negative effects on the instrument. Some physics for you. If you use too much glue, the glue is the soft part in the building. It's softer than the wood. When you have anything soft, it eats up the resonance. Yes. Because you want rigidity for sustain. If you have something soft, it sucks up the sustain and the transmission of the sound. Yes. So when I look at a 700-piece neck, I ask myself a simple question: did you do good enough of a job joining them so that the sustainability, the sustain is still there?
Yes, and the sound proves it. Fortunately, I was not the one who had to make the blank. I had friends of mine in Canada that made it, because there in Vancouver they eat many things from Chinese restaurants, and they have a few to spare.
So are they actually used chopsticks?
Yes, they are used, but they were cleaned. They were cleaned, before, and then processed to a blank that I made to a neck.
That is freaking. I mean, coffee grounds and the whole thing used chopsticks.
Yeah.
Now, okay, it is fully sustainable. Everything, throwaway stuff.
Have you noticed the jeans scratch plate? It's real end-of-use garment denim.
Okay, that's cool. I mean, come on. See, I run around here and I tell companies, I don't want to talk about the 90th Strat or the 400th Strat, and here's another video with a Strat, and it's well built and it's aged, and I get this, but I mean, this is not news. We have nothing to talk about when it comes to guitars anymore. And then your wife comes along, looking all pretty as she is, and then says, we do coffee. I'm like, whoa, something to talk about. See, and what I do when I run around these trade shows now, because I've done so many fucking trade show videos, I now charge people for videos because I need to make money, and also I'm just done talking about their Strats. I'm not going to charge this man because he actually came up with something cool.
Thanks, man.
Free video.
Thank you. I'm obliged.
Let's talk price, because let's talk about the actual thing that people want to know.
Yeah.
How much?
Well, it starts at 2 grand. And from there on, pick it as you want.
Because I would say, well, technically because the materials are free, because they're trash, but they're not because you actually have to process the materials. And obviously then we're talking about work, putting in time, machinery. So no, they're not free. They're free in their raw form, but to get them to the form that you can work with, that costs money.
Yeah, and it is handcrafted.
Of course. So we have this bass, and this is from local woods, you said?
Yes. Yes, this is a local wood guitar. The ash top is from Frankfurt. The cherry is from Bavaria. The neck, I think, is Austrian. That's a bit more far away, but no, sometimes you don't have a choice.
You have one hell of a guitar tit up there. Look at that tit right there. Wow. That's one massive, oddly shaped volute on possibly the smallest headstock that I've ever seen in fucking existence. That is sustainability. It's like, it's not headless, but it's almost headless.
No, and it saves weight.
It's impressive how you actually managed to get the tuners on there and not make it look odd. Holy crap. I don't know how much I like it, but I'm impressed by what you did.
Thanks. Thank you.
My arm's giving out because for like 4 hours I've been doing this now, and I'm not very strong.
I'm feeling you.
So, how much for something like this?
This one starts at 1.6.
Come on, handcrafted in Germany. So, if you are in the market for something, I mean, unique is an understatement, okay? If you're in the market for something that sets a precedence, I think, in the industry for sustainability, of course, when we're talking about CITES, and we're talking about these woods that Martin and all these companies are using from woods that they're building back up and all that, that's already good, and that's where we need to go, and we need to promote that. But actually taking materials that are trash, like not rebuilding a wood, but reusing the wood that we've already used. And coffee grounds, I mean, what is he going to come up with next? Poop? The poop guitar. No, we don't want that. But I mean, with coffee grounds, we're kind of close. I mean, that is something that we all see as something that we just want to get rid of really fast before it gets moldy. Are they going to get moldy?
If you don't dry them fast enough, yeah.
So, I'm super impressed. I would love to hear them on amps and actually get to know them and see what coffee sounds like. What coffee sounds like. It's just like, why am I saying these sentences? So Richter Instruments, and you go to, I don't even need the link below, come on, richterinstruments.com with a minus in between, and then you get the whole story, and the website hopefully is amazing, and pricing, you can order things and all that. So thank you, Stefan.
Thank you very much.
Was a pleasure.
It was a pleasure.
Finally something that's, fun. And thank you to the Reverend Laird, Michiel Possenis, former mayor of Hell, Scrum Master PDF license holder behind the camera, for doing the stuff and making me say this every single time. Animals at the end.